Managing all of the responsibilities that go into teaching can easily devour all of the time you have available. If you're like me, you want to allow time to foster connection and support with your students without becoming overwhelmed by all of the planning, grading, and other routine teaching tasks. Today, I'm going to show you my tech stack, and this is how I manage all of my grading and student contacts. I use Blackboard, ClickUp, Calendly, and Campuswire. First, I want to head into Blackboard. I use a flipped classroom approach, so I set out my folders that are the same every week. I list the outcomes, prep work, and follow-up work. I've talked about this before in my Template Your Way to Faster Teaching. You might want to check it out. Now, every week, some items that are in the prep work section and follow-up are submitted here in Blackboard. Blackboard has this nice feature that if I click the grade area, I can click Needs Grading, and it'll tell me exactly what students submitted here in Blackboard that I need to grade. The harder things to keep track of are things like their Flipgrid assignments that are submitted outside of Blackboard. They're embedded in Blackboard and it looks like they're there, but really the assignment is housed somewhere else. So Blackboard doesn't know when students have submitted it, so it can't list it in the Needs Grading area. These are the things I need to keep track of. So to keep track of them, keep them front of mind, I use ClickUp. My goal is to return all of my students' work with a grade within 1 week. When I do that, it helps the students feel like I'm knowledgeable about their skills and where they are. It provides them quick feedback and allows them to keep track of their grades. Some of their work, I just need to check if they've completed it as part of their prep work. Sometimes I want to give a lot of feedback, so I keep track of this in ClickUp by having a specific area in ClickUp where I have all of my teaching responsibilities and one area that I have as grading. In that grading list, I have my ASL class. On the class, when I click into that grading item, it lists every single thing that needs to be graded the whole semester. The start date tells me when the assignment is due for the students, and then the due date that's in ClickUp is 1 week later. That's when my goal is to get it back to the students. The next thing I do is keep track of student communication needs. I have a flowchart. Well, it doesn't have boxes, so maybe you can't call it a flowchart, but it's definitely a decision path. And I keep that in our learning management system. So in the flowchart, students get asked the first question. Do you need private help from the teacher, or do you just need to get a question answered and it's not something private like a grade? If that's the case, they click on Campuswire. In Campuswire, if they format their post as a question, and it will tag the post as a question and show up in a special area of my feed to help me see when there's a question. Students can answer questions and teachers can answer questions. If someone has the correct answer, I can tell them they're on the right track. If someone needs help directly from the instructor, so about a grade or another matter that's not really something for public in the Campuswire area, then they will go to the next question. Do you need to see Dr. Hale, or do you just need to ask her a question and get a response through email? In this case, if they don't need to see me, then what they need to do is send me a request. This request form is connected to my ClickUp account. When they fill out the request, it sends a message directly to my ClickUp as a task. It also tags me in the task, and it shows up in my notifications that I have a new request from a student. I check these each morning during my morning ritual to ensure that I'm not overlooking anything that students need. Finally, if they need to see me, they can show up during office hours. They could also schedule a meeting during office hours, so they can call me, we can meet on Zoom, or we can meet in person. The request form takes them to my Calendly, which allows them to schedule right on my calendar, and will put the appointment directly on my Outlook calendar and send me a notice. This helps me be sure that I am not overlooking student meeting requests. So these are the ways I keep track of all of the things I need to do to help my students stay on track each semester. I've shown you how I use my learning management system, Blackboard, how I use ClickUp to track grading, how I use Campuswire for quick communication with students, and how I use Calendly to allow students to put an appointment right on my schedule without an email back and forth. All of these things help the process go more smoothly and easily for everyone. I hope you'll take a minute to share with us in the comments below what tools you use in your tech stack to manage student needs. If you like this video, you might want to check out my Faculty Resource Center. And especially the post about my academic strategic planning, because that's when I make a lot of these decisions about how I'm going to track student work.